Now, my relatives were pretty well to do. They had been established there. Um, they had most of them had very good educations. They Some of my relatives had never been slaves at all. They didn't know anything about it. And because they were affluent, some of them owned slaves, which is also like something that you never hear,
Right, yeah, yeah.
in
I didn't know that. That's an interesting point,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I mean, what is slavery? Slavery is, well, it's a power thing
Yeah.
and it's an affluence thing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so in 1803, there was that change, and the change to me was, and I brought it in my book, is that we had in Louisiana, and they had a society that with slaves. So slaves up until that time had a way to get out of slavery. They could go into the regular population after they're free, and then they own slaves. And this is something that's very common. That slaves were able to, that the slaves that were able to um, buy their way out of freedom, buy their way to freedom, or buy their way out of slavery. And if they were productive people, oftentimes they owned slaves. So a very that's not the story that we usually hear, right?
Yes.
And so in this book, it talks about what one of my points about slavery in this book is that it was a very broad um, institution, and for it to survive for so long, lots of people went along with it, including black people.